So I'm going to be doing this solo today. I'm going to be going through the NBA and MLB, but I'm just in the middle of just finishing something up on the other screen, but that's okay. I'll just wait for you guys to pop on in here. I'm actually just uploading the projections on our site. Um, so let me just do that. It's like literally all sort of behind the scenes of how I'm doing this. So I'm actually finishing the FanDuel projections for baseball. I'm already good with the basketball up there, um, but just finishing up the baseball. So we're doing FanDuel right now. So that's FanDuel Drive Main. No, FanDuel MLB Drive Main. Okay, almost done. And I'll get some questions, and I'll actually just walk you through how I'm just building my stuff. And I think maybe that can be somewhat interesting as I go through as I go through some questions also. But I think it'll be interesting. And then we got noise coming out of the back, which I hope to kill in a second. FanDuel main, and then we'll replace that. That should be good. Just one more thing. I just have to go. Now I'll actually show you how I'm doing this. I'm uploading the Google Drive. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to file upload. Doing MLB first, right? True DFS. I'll be right with you in a second. MLB Drive Main. Drive Main. Boom. And then MLB Drive Stacks Main. Boom. Almost done. File upload. FanDuel MLB Drive Main update, and then file upload, MLB Drive Main update. Okay. So what's going on now? So your casino gave you the Blue Jays money line game 2. What does that mean? I feel like I missed the first part of the conversation. Oh. I see. What's up, Adam? So we just got little old me today. Bobby's out doing some stuff, so I'm gonna go through baseball. I literally just uploaded everything, so you'll get to see me do what I'm doing. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do one hand-built lineup, and then I'm going to do then a bunch of Saber Sims for both DraftKings and for FanDuel. So for NBA and for MLB. So here, we're going to get there in a second. We're doing this right now, Reno. So first, let's look at the pitching. So when I see kind of a breakdown like this, I see Strasburg just clearly kind of the best. And then I see like all these other pitchers that are just kind of tied underneath. So what I probably want to do is take the lowest owned of all of these. But you have Allard and Uceta, who I don't even know if they're going to go full run. So I have to do a little bit of research on that. So I guess Uceta is going to be the projected long reliever, maybe. And then what about Kobe Allard? Is he actually going to be like a full starter? He'll make a spot start. They say it should be about cover 4 innings. All right, so I don't think I'm going to play either of these guys. So now we're down to Strasburg and Bassett, or Strasburg and Wood. So this is really the way I want to do it. Or you could play Ohtani also. All these guys look very similar in my value rankings. So what I probably want to do is just and cease too. So I just want to try to probably pick the lowest owned one, right? So if that were to the case, I probably want to go with Alex Wood as the next option, either Alex Wood or Ohtani. Okay. So maybe I'll do 2 builds. Maybe I'll do one Strasburg Wood and one Strasburg Ohtani. So I can't, unfortunately, since I can't do the full lineup, but I could certainly do something, right? So, and you'll notice I didn't get to any Sonny Gray. I tried, I just couldn't do it. So Wood or Ohtani? Well, let's start with one with Alex Wood, which is a little dangerous against the Dodgers, but whatever, it is what it is. But before I do that, let's answer Renault's question and see where we are with respect to stacks. So the way I'm ranking these, there's a couple of different ways. So there's either by just raw points, in which case it would be the White Sox slightly better than maybe St. Louis, the Dodgers, Arizona, like that. If we're going to rank them just on pure value, I'd probably get Texas as the top one. But you see I have the White Sox as second. So White Sox is probably looking to be the best one. And now when we go and find my modified rankings that combines them both, not surprisingly, it has the White Sox as my top stack. Okay. So what I mean, I can't build the whole lineup, but I can certainly build, some of it leaves some spots open. So if I did, who do you want? Vaughn, Madrigal, Grandal, Abreu, Garcia. So let's see. Now, the only thing I have to look at, I got to check the weather here, right? So before I do anything. That's actually of risk. I don't like to take any weather risk if I can avoid it. So it's just a few hours early, a few more late. I expect they start between dry, mostly dry, finish the game off in some light rain. Okay. So they think it's going to be fine. So that's good enough for me. So let me go back and remind myself of who these guys are that I wanted to play. So Vaughn, Madrigal, Grandal, Abreu, Garcia. So Grandal takes up a catcher spot, which is nice. Abreu, Madrigal, Vaughn, and Garcia, was it? Okay, so now as you see, I could just do whatever I want in these other positions. And that's if I use Wood. So if instead of using Wood as my second SP, I went to, who's my other choice? Let me just go back to see who I was between. I was between Wood and Bassett, right? Wood was a slightly lower. No, it's going to be Wood and Ohtani. Bassett was going to be too chalky. So if I went with Ohtani, I could do that too, and still have plenty of money to pay up as much as I want there. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 2 builds like that. As a matter of fact, since I can't do it online, let me do it off screen, and then I'll show you how I use the. Then I'll do the SaberSim. So let's do the first one with Alex Wood, which is again is a little bit fishy. And let's just see who good one-offs are here. So I can spend up now for whoever I want in these spots, which is really useful. We could actually, if we're going to do that. So what's a good third baseman? Let's look at third base. And I'm just trying to find some one-offs here. So third base, Justin Turner, but Justin Turner obviously doesn't go so well with the Alex Wood thing. Moncada, but we already have the White Sox exposure. And then so we have Nolan Arenado, who looks like he's expensive, but we can afford him. So let's keep that one in mind. take a look at some shortstop. Because remember, for my lineup, I need shortstop, I need outfielders. So let's just take a look. Shortstop. Again, there's not a lot of great spend ups at shortstop. I see Sosa looks pretty good. Let's just if we just did it even by projection, right? We didn't even do it by value. All we cared about was raw points. Arenado would be first, and then my shortstop would be Turner at 6,200, and then my outfielder would be Mookie. Okay, but we're not playing Mookie. So this guy that keeps showing up is Ketel Marte. So I think he's actually pretty good one-off. And Carlos Martinez, I think, is really fishy. Now, what would be cool is if there was another Arizona guy that I could use as part of this. But let's not do that. Let's not even be too greedy. Let's be greedy. Let's do that. Let's put in. The one thing I'm going to do is definitely going to play Turner with my non-Alex Wood lineups. So let me again rank these this way, and then take a look at my third baseman. Once again, we're at Turner and Moncada, which is a little it's a little fishy. But what I can do is I could afford Moncada, right, and take out, say, Leroy Garcia, and I can make that work. So now who did I want at shortstop? So now I could play, for example, Rojas and Marte if I wanted, as part of the same deal, and get a little bit of stack integrity with that. And that certainly makes some sense. Then there's a whole bunch of you can play Peralta too. So Peralta, Marte, I don't even have to play Rojas. Go play even Tommy Edman or something like that if you wanted. I think what I'm going to do. So I'm doing that, and now let me see what are these lineups I'm in. So let's change. And then we're going to do a SaberSim one in a minute. So we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to put those 4 lineups in one in a big one, and then we're doing one big one and a lottery for each one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the Wood lineups to the Ohtani lineups, and this way what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in Turner, because I wasn't going to obviously use him in the Justin Turner in the lineups with the Alex Wood lineups. So let me just finish that off, and I could play. I don't really want to play Gavin Lux, but Kiner Falefa was a good play, as I recall, and then Schwarber was okay. But we can go back to Ketel Marte and play that over there. So what else can we do at shortstop? I can't quite figure out what else to do at shortstop. I could play Gavin Lux, lefty. That could be interesting. So what I'll do is I'll change this one to this. Okay. So that's the way I kind of talk myself through my hand build lineups. Now, let me just pop in real quick and see if I have any questions before I go into the builds. How do I use single entry using your system? It's exactly the way I just did it. It's the best way I could describe it. Now, with respect to, and I'm going to do a video on how to use these sheets if you want to start using them off of the site. But let me see. So what I do with using SaberSim to build the multi-entries, I actually kind of created a macro for this, but you guys can cut and paste. What I'll do is, what you do for SaberSim is you have to upload the whatchamacallits, the projections that you want and the average ownership that you want. I mean, you don't have to. In other words, SaberSim will do it for you if you want. Like they do have their own projections, but I just kind of like the work that I do in creating my own. But if you wanted to, like, you subscribe to SaberSim, you do have access to the DraftKings projections. You just have to make a couple of changes, and then it'll build lineups for you. So what I'll do is I'll cut and paste my own projections in here. and then I'll literally have it build for me. So what I'll do is new build. So I think I'm going to have 18 lineups, if I'm not mistaken, that I'm going to need. Yes, 18 lineups, because I already made 2. So we'll make it in the 20 max, and under manual mode, we're going to keep this correlation moderate, ownership fade moderate, smart diversity moderate, and I'll go over this a little bit later on what these things mean, but this is kind of advanced SaberSim stuff. What SaberSim will do is it'll create really kind of high upside lineups for you, and you're not going to like them. You just never are, and that's one of the things I like about it, is that it really creates, and for these big lottery tournaments, that's, you know, you're really not supposed to feel comfortable with what gets built for you. If I looked, I would probably lose my mind. I mean, so I do have a Kobe Allard lineup. You know what I mean? Like it's stuff that I never would have played, so it's good. Stack types, we have 5 threes. Top owned stack is Baltimore. You know, like this is just not. You know what I mean? But for the, I've just kind of made peace with the fact that SaberSim, the algorithm, is just much stronger than my abilities to hand build for that type of tournament. And certainly, you know, if you were going to, you know, use an optimizer per se, that's probably the worst thing you can do, because what that does is it ensures that you're just getting median projections and you're really not getting any upside, and you're certainly not getting any ownership fade. So what I'm doing is I'm going to change this. And then what I could do after all that, I could tell you what my total exposures are now. Yeah, so I have 50% Strasbourg. I have 32% Flexen, which is interesting. Then I got a whole bunch of Baltimore, like I said, as far as the stacks go. And again, that's not going to be my top value stack. It's not going to be what I would play in single entry, but in the NME world, that's what I'm going to end up doing. Okay. No questions. We're going to move on to FanDuel. So FanDuel, and this is, you're seeing what I'm actually doing with my stuff tonight. So if you just looked at it in single entry, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to build one bigger lineup, you know, and here it's really, really easy. Like Dylan Cease for me is like clearly the best option. And part of it is also because neither Sonny Gray nor what's his name is on the FanDuel slate. That game is not on the slate. Whoever that is, who's that? Crap. Whoever the Reds are playing is not on that slate. So what I'm going to do, let's see what I have here. I'll show you. I mean, we're not going to see SVN, but let's just see what we have. This is what we're playing. We're playing, where is this? We're playing, so we have 3 kind of bigger lineups, right? We have the Monster, the Grand Slam, and the Qualifier. So maybe I'll hand build 3, but all of them are going to have Cease in them, you know? I don't think I'm going to go play Flexen, and just Bassett just doesn't do it. I mean, Cease is just clearly the best. Now, I wonder if I even have to worry about value with respect to stacks on FanDuel. So on FanDuel, for example, and we do the same analysis. If we were going to rank these guys just by raw points, we would have the White Sox as the best, followed by St. Louis and the Dodgers. If we were to rank them on true value, it would be the Cardinals, then the White Sox again, and then Arizona. And if we're going to do it on a modified basis, which is what I usually do, you're going to have the Cardinals again. So Cardinals and White Sox. But I don't think that we're going to need to save any money with value. So I think what we could probably do is just jam in these higher priced White Sox guys. So that's what we're going to do. Abreu, Grandal, Moncada, Mercedes. So let's see if we can't get all those in. Because remember, I think 2 of them, maybe 3 of them are first base. Wow, look at this. So Grandal, Mercedes, and Abreu. So we're going to have to make one change. But let's just take a look at that. That's interesting. Okay, so let's first edit this lineup right here. Edit, and we like Cease. So let's just see what these what these positions look like. Maybe we got a break with the with the position eligibility on some of these guys. So you have Abreu and Mercedes. Oh, so it's not and Grandal. So you know what we can do? I mean, so we're building 3 lineups. We're going to use 2 of those in the 3 spots, right? Actually, there's only 2 spots. There's the first base spot and the utility spot. So we can only use 2 of 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 lineups. 1 with Abreu Grandal, 1 with Abreu Mercedes, and 1 with Grandal Mercedes. Make sense? Okay. So let's do that first. We're going to put in Abreu and Grandal to start off with. And then the other White Sox we said were Madrigal, Garcia. No, we're going to play Moncada. Yeah, Moncada and Garcia, or Moncada and Madrigal. So we'll start with Moncada. We'll put him in, okay? And we don't know whether we want to play Madrigal or the other guy. So let's just put in Madrigal for now. And let's see if there's another good stack that we want that you really even need to pay $3,700 for. Like the next bunch of guys are the Cardinals, right? So let's see if we can't get all these guys in. Because the one thing I did notice is that Arenado's at third base. We kind of need a shortstop, right? For at least this thing, you know? So I'm probably going to be in the market for a shortstop. But is Escobar or Marte a shortstop? Let me just take a look. Let's rank these guys by position. Because we're trying to figure out what stack to put in there. This is FanDuel. So it looks like there's very few good shortstops. So what I'm probably going to do then, let's see if there's even a shortstop eligible from the White Sox. That's why I'm getting Leroy Garcia. But that's fine. So let's do that. So instead of Madrigal, we're going to go Leroy Garcia. And then what we could do is probably really play whoever we want in these other positions. So what does that mean, whoever we want? Well, let's go back to the stacks page first and see just on raw points who we could get if we wanted. So it'd be the Dodgers or the Cardinals. So let's get greedy. Let's see if we can't get all these Dodgers in that we want. So let's see if we can't get in well, it wasn't Muncy we wanted, right? We wanted, well, we could play Betts. It's no problem. It was going to be, oops. Whoa, what was that? Sorry. That's weird. Okay. It was going to be, hold on a second. We're going to reshare this a little bit. Okay. So it was going to be Betts, Turner, Smith, and Taylor, or these guys, Arenado, Goldschmidt, and it looks like the Dodger ones are going to be lower owned. So let's play those guys. But Will Smith again is a problem because he's going to be in that position. So let's go back to the Cardinals this way because I know that I can play Tommy Edman here. Play Tommy Edman over here. We could play Betts over here, and we got some room. You know, we could play some other dudes. So it's almost impossible to like spend all your salary here, right? So let's go back to the White Sox. I like the Abreu and Grandal, right? We like Moncada over here. And let's see if there's like expensive outfielders, like for example, even available aside from Betts that we can play. Like we'd even play 2-man. So let's just take a look. Carlson, Goldschmidt. See, that's the thing. There's like so few like spend ups today, which is really interesting. So we could play some Arizonas like Peralta, but even him. Let's take a look. FanDuel worksheet. Let's just rank these guys just even by points. You're already getting Abreu. We're already getting Betts. We're already getting Grandal. We could play Arenado, but that's the way we get rid of what's his name, Moncada. We don't want to. We have Moncada over here. Turner at third base. Ketel Marte at 3,200, but we already have Edmonds. So now we're playing these guys down here. We could play Matt Olson. We could play Mitch Haniger, and we can afford it like really, really easily. So let's do that. Let's put in Olson. Oh, he's a first baseman too. Look at this. Look at this. So who can we? So we can spend on Haniger, Mookie, Yastrzemski, and Kanha. So let's see what that looks like. Kanha, Yastrzemski, and then we have 3,700 to spend at shortstop. 3,700 to spend at shortstop. And we could play, you know, what we should probably do is go back to the White Sox again, right? We play Leroy over here. So now again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And we still have 1,700 left that we could screw around with. So let's take Edman out. We could probably get up to Muncy or to Taylor. So there it is. You can play Muncy. So this you get Muncy, Mookie. You got the White Sox stack. You got some good one-offs, and away you go. Okay. So now, next thing I'm going to do, as I mentioned, I'm then going to shuffle those those first basemen. So let's go through, we'll edit this, and then we'll do NBA in about 5-10 minutes. So instead of Grandal, we're going to put in who is the other White Sox? Instead of Grandal, we were going to play Mercedes. Okay. And if you play Mercedes, you could even spend up a little more in the outfield if you wanted to. You know, just to get different. But we don't even need to now. So for now, we're gonna just leave this. We're just gonna leave this as is. So we're shuffling Abreu, Mercedes, and Grandal. And then we're going to go one more. We're going to go here. And this is going to be our diversification. Then we're going to go Grandal and Mercedes. We'll put Mercedes up over here. 100. And then you could even play a different shortstop over here, or a different, you could screw around however you want. Like you don't have to play, for example, Leroy Garcia if you don't want to. You can go and then play Crawford. To get two guys out of that San Francisco game. So you could do that. Okay. So now what I do is I want to first make sure that all of those lineups are in the FanDuel lottery, and then I'm gonna have SaberSim build me some lineups over there. So let's go first into upcoming. We're gonna go into baseball. We're gonna CSV edit, download, and there are definitely faster ways to do this. However, so again, these are those big lineups I create. I just want to make sure that I have those. And this is not exactly optimal because technically you're supposed to do different types of lineups in these tournaments as opposed to these tournaments. But I don't want it to come in and me not hit the big, another 25K. So I'm only going to need to do 8 to 15. So 8 lineups on SaberSim. So let's upload this first so I don't forget. And now I need to make 8 lineups out of SaberSim. Let me just make sure that all took. Yep, 8 lineups on SaberSim. So same process before, right? We're going to go back into my sheet where I have the the list of projections and ownership projections. We're going to copy that. We have to put it into the SaberSim algorithm. We'll do this. 5 games. Remember, it doesn't have the Washington-Cincinnati game. That's why we're not getting any of that. Now, what's going to happen with FanDuel, I'm telling you, they're going to put money, they're going to leave a lot of money on the table. I don't necessarily think I want to do that. So what I am going to do is I am going to set a minimum here. We're only playing 8 lineups, so play 8 lineups, we'll play manual, and again, we'll rely on the projections somewhat. But let's do a minimum of. It's not. We don't even have to go that crazy. Let's just go 34,300. And we only need 8 lineups. We're not going to allow pitchers versus hitters. If there was a big standout, I would do it as far as hitting goes, but I don't see it. Okay. 8 lineups. Do I do a quick sanity check? I probably shouldn't. Ohtani, Wood, Bassett. See, no cease. See, this is why I love this thing. Okay, so we are going to put this here. These are going to be the lineups that we replace those other lottery ticket lineups. So let's just go back and redo that. So let's CSV edit one last time. Download. And this is what the slate looks like. I mean, our lineups look like now. And so I want to change these duplicated entries. These duplicated entries here into these. So we'll save this, upload this, and this, edit. Just see what this looks like. Quick sanity check, and then we'll be done with baseball. Yep, looks good to me. Okay, and that's it. That's projections done through builds, both hand builds for single entry stuff and for MMEing. All right, let's move on. We're gonna do the NBA now, and I'm just gonna go the exact same way that I'm building the NBA as I would as I'm just kind of doing it. Let me just pull up my DraftKings. So this is my sheet for the NBA tonight. Let me just find it. Once again, we'll do DraftKings first. And I want to start by ranking these guys by point per dollar, just to kind of see what it looks like here. See, I can tell that we're going to be struggling to find really good value here. See, normally during the regular season, when you rank stuff like this, you see like a couple of 3K guys here that show up in point per dollar, but you don't even see that. So honestly, what I'm probably going to do, like on a slate like this, to start off with, is I'm just going to see how I can build a lineup with as many of the guys in this top tier as possible. So, like, for example, like if Jimmy Butler is my top play, like Jimmy Butler, I know he takes a small forward position, and that's going to be really strong. So center is cool because you can play 2 of them. So maybe that's something I could do. I could mix the Nurkic, Ayton, and Adebayo. Then what I'll see is I'll just kind of eyeball the ownership here, and I'll see that they're all very similar, so there's no real difference between them. So I'll probably just shuffle and just also see, like I'm not going to play Nurkic in a lineup with like 5 other Blazers, like for example. So like for now, let's just say that I put in, I don't know, Nurkic. Well, you see that Covington is like probably the top value there. So assuming I'm going to play him, let's not play Nurkic with the first center spot. Let's play Ayton with the first center spot. Okay. So if we played Ayton at center, again, I see where we're headed here, right? So like if you look at a lineup like this, right, you're just never going to be able to play like like Giannis, right? You're going to be left with 5,000 a man. And maybe you play one stud like that, but it's going to be very, very difficult because if you look, you just don't have a lot of really, really great value here. You're going to be playing guys you don't want to play. So I'm probably going to be committed to some kind of middling build here. As I mentioned in the earlier thing, the guy I am probably going to die on with respect to paying up is probably going to be Lillard. Okay. He does, rate to be a good point per dollar play. It was either going to be him or LeBron. And I'll tell you that what's his name? That Bobby really almost did it. And I think I am going to do that. I think I'm going to build two big lineups, one with Lillard and maybe one with LeBron as like that main spend up. Okay. But so for example, let's just say that I want to put Lillard in for openers. So he takes up a point guard position. You'll see that the shooting guard position is very, very bereft of plays. But this guy, so for me, it's either going to be a terrible looking DiVincenzo or, again, if you want to play Powell, I don't know if that's such a great idea alongside of Lillard. I think that the Booker play is extremely strong. I mean, I just don't see a world where Chris Paul is healthy enough to really do damage. But the problem is now, if you've been following along, even with a middling build, if you play Lillard, again, we could show you this. Even if you play Lillard, I'm happy with all this, but now you're only 4,400 per player. Now you're only 4,400 per player. So you really are now dipping down into the dregs society here. Like Duncan Robinson, I guess he's fine, right? Kendrick Nunn, Brooke Lopez, and that still doesn't even get it done. Like you really have to play. Well, you could do it. I mean, you could play Crowder, Nunn. I am going to probably do that to start off with. So what if I did it? What if I went Nunn, and then Crowder, and then Duncan Robinson, or Brooke Lopez? Okay, that's one way to do it. Okay, so that's a good middling type build, and that's what you're going to have to do. And I don't know if you're going to be able to get to LeBron in that type of build because you saw I struggled even with the 400, with Lillard at 9,400 to get that lineup done. Even to pay an extra 400 is going to make it really difficult to get what you want, right? Let me just, before I go and do the SaberSim thing, let me address a couple of questions here, and you'll forgive me if I just kind of gloss over some of the ones that are just not not particularly interesting. Let me just see where I did see a couple pop in there. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. I just lost you on the. I just lost your feed here. Where's your? I just lost you. I hope I didn't poof you guys. No, there you are. Yeah, Harry, just get out of here. I mean, really. Is Deadman a good? I mean, I really don't want to just go into YouTube and I'm just really busy. You know what I mean? I don't want to spend time going into YouTube and blocking you. I just don't. I really don't have the time. Is Dedmon a good play? No, I don't think so. I'm not getting to him. I'm not getting to Bryn Forbes. I'm not saying they're bad plays. Actually, you know what? I do think they're not very good plays. So I would not play Dedmon. I would not play Forbes. And you see, I am not playing either of them. So let's do the builds of the same system, same idea of when you're playing like the big MME type tournaments. I do believe in SaberSim and shuffling and getting a good ownership fade. So same thing. I'm going to copy the data I have, which is the projections and the ownership projections. I got to relaunch SaberSim here. Timing. I'm probably going to be done with this by 6:55, and then probably going to get out of here closer to 7:05. So do prepare some questions for me if you have any. I know it doesn't start till NBA doesn't start till 7:30, but I got stuff to do. All right. So let's upload this to the NBA. The model over here. Do the same thing. And what's cool about the SaberSim again is it already takes into account like correlations and stuff like that. So let's put, I think I only need 19 lineups there. So same thing. Now, again, I'll do a tutorial on the best practices with these sliders, but this is usually a good little combination of correlation and ownership fade. So we're going to put, we're going to go 18 lineups, build them over here. And I always like to do some kind of sanity check, like make sure I don't have like three guys that I know in my heart of hearts don't correlate well with one another, even though probably shouldn't do that. So yeah, I'll go with this. I'll just for fun, I'll blast this. So this has 100% Jimmy Butler, which again, I've just learned to not question the algo. I've just made too many deep runs with the combination of my projections and ownership projections with the SaberSim algorithm to doubt it, honestly. All right, so let's paste these into here. Boom. Wait, I have to do one more lineup, don't I? Crap. How do I do that? Okay, I'll do one more, sorry. So we'll do 19 lineups. Yeah, we'll do 19 lineups. And then we're going to paste them off on the side again, just to not get DraftKings too mad at me. We're going to save it, and then we are going to upload it to DraftKings. And then we will be done, presuming there's no late, right? No late NBA news. We'll be done. And I will just tell you guys what my exposures are with the NBA on DraftKings. So that would be, I have 100% Butler. I have an awful lot of Covington. I have an awful lot of Goran Dragic at 48% over there. And those would be the ones that would stand out. Okay, let me look. If there are no other questions, I will go over to FanDuel. Let's see. Harry Johnson, no problem. Adam, do you guys plan on making your projection downloadable? Yes, you can actually. I think that you can actually download them from the from Google Drive. I think that it is the way it's set up, that you can edit and things like that. I'm pretty sure that that's the way it's set up. If that's not the case, let me know, because I think that that's what it is. I think they're in Google Drive. I think you can download them, and if not, I can make it. Oh no, I don't think I did want to do that. Maybe one day. Because the thing is, I apologize for this, Adam, but the reason why we're doing it this way is because I do have like a lot of formulas, which I do kind of consider proprietary, where I don't want to display what the formulas are to calculate like my value scores and things like that. So we're not quite ready for that. Do I like Dragic tonight? Yes, like 45% there. Okay, so now let me go and let's do FanDuel. Let me take a look and see what that looks like. And I'd like to do that kind of by position, but even so, if you rank these even by point per dollar, I mean, you'll see where we're headed here. I mean, you got Covington, you got Butler, Jokic. You know, these are all in separate positions. So I'm going to really start with just editing my main lineup using this, because you're not getting that much of a big chalky lineup. There's no one real huge chalk guy, I don't think. So let me get FanDuel up again. Let me see what my big lineup looks like. Got plenty of time here. So I have, what did I do? I'm going to do one big lineup or two big lineups. I actually had three. So let me see what it looks like right now. And this looks decent, but I don't think I want to play Chris Paul. Let me take a look at what these guys look like. So definitely Porter, definitely Bam looks good. CJ looks good. The Chris Paul play looks really fishy to me. That's the only problem. But I still like my lineup here. You know, like if you rank these guys, the top point guards is Chris Paul, right? So I have him. Second best point guard I have is Drew Holiday, and he's in the lineup. And then shooting guard. The good thing about not having Lillard is I can play CJ with a great degree of confidence. The one guy I wish I had a little more of was Devin Booker. I really, really believe in this play, but with Chris Paul, I don't think you need to play that with him. Dante DiVincenzo I have in my main lineup. He's not going to win me anything himself, but he holds the rest of this stuff together. Small forward for now, I do have Norm Powell as a play here. And he's a little further down on my list than I usually like to go, but there's nothing else at small forward. Like I could play Middleton. That's but I'm probably going to get a little bit of that with when I do the Sabres and stuff. The other small forward I'm not too particularly thrilled that I have is Michael Bridges, but he ranks so high for me I can't really be upset about it. And then there's Michael Porter who I liked and Bam who I said I liked before. So I am going to keep kind of the big lineup the same, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually have Sabres and build me 2 like 3 max tournaments, 3 max lineups. So let me see what I have here. First thing I want to do, I actually have this in the slot machine already. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 lotteries and 2 kind of single entry stuffs. So let me do this again. So let's go in. Same thing. NBA, upload. Back into FanDuel. And then after this, I'll take some questions and then an efficient use of time and call it a day. Just have one troller. Whatever. I'm just not in the mood right now. Okay, so FanDuel. So what I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we're going to do 14 lottery tournaments, lottery tickets. So that we want to make it a little more to the right. That's the best way I could describe it, is you want to be a little more to the right, the more entries there are in the tournament. Don't worry about the 20 max thing. And again, we'll talk about this some other time. I do still want to make a minimum. So we'll do 14 lineups over here. Download this. These are my existing lineups. This obviously is 100% Chris Paul, which I wasn't too surprised with. Again, with these lottery ticket tournaments, I'm not gonna question it. I'm really just gonna throw them in. Because like if you say, well, do these guys correlate well together? It's already really been factored in. That's the best I could describe this. I mean, I'll show you. Like if you click on Chris Paul, it'll actually show you who he correlates with, and what the correlation is, and a distribution of results. So I'm not too worried about that. Now let's do, as I said, 2 other lineups that are more like single entry-ish, right? This is fine. So let's do 2 kind of single entry-ish lineups. And then we will put these in, take some questions, and then we will be on our way. And as on DraftKings, I think that Covington is going to be kind of a strong value play. I mean, don't be surprised if he doesn't, he plays 40 minutes, gets 12 fantasy points. That's certainly possible, but, I'm willing to take that chance. All right, let's put this in. We're going to edit these. We're going to upload. We're going to hit upcoming, see where we are. Let's make sure they all took. Yep. So it looks as though after all that, Chris Paul is my top owned player on FanDuel. Ooh, I got a lot of Dennis Schroeder. That is actually very interesting. And I do have a lot of Giannis over here. So that's kind of where I am at. All right, let's take some questions, and then we will Vamos. If there are any questions, even. All right. Bobby, no, I haven't played. I really don't. I mean, every once in a while I'll play online, but I really don't play live or anything like that anymore. Ronaldo, do you use projections on NBA or do you stick build by minutes? No, by projections, because the projections factor in the minutes. General questions. How are you deciding number of entries allowed in each turn? Is it just a relationship with slate size and the size of the field? Okay. On FanDuel, I am playing all of the CP3. He's my top owned guy over there. So, Adam, we talk about true DFS, true transparency, and things like that. The reality is the way I do it is really not optimal. I mean, there is certainly a way to maximize the amount of entries that you should play given what you like. I really just haven't done the work to build that kind of optimal answer yet. I just honestly I usually just throw 20 in and for no reason. I mean, every once in a while, if I do think that, like, say a baseball slate, let's say that I like a whole bunch of pitchers, for example, or a whole bunch of stacks, then I'll play more lineups than normal. But, if I usually like to, because then I like to throw in 20. Maybe it affects my OCD a little bit. I'll throw in 20 lineups and everything. And sometimes what I'll do is if I like 3 different builds, I'll play 3 builds in the 3 big ones. And then I'll make sure that I'll branch off those. So I'll have like 3 big ones. And then I'll put 6 entries of each into like a 20 max thing. So I'll have like 18 entries in there. And then I'll just kind of like build off of those builds. So again, nothing particularly scientific. But the answer is yes, there is probably a more professional, better math-driven way to figure out how many entries to play. I just really have not done the work on that yet. Again, that's just it's on my list. Danny, do you do well in FD, MLB, and NBA? Sometimes. Overall, yeah, but I mean sometimes. Danny, I'm just trying to learn like everybody else, and I'm just hoping that doing this is helping people learn along with me and just learn from me, and I learn from them as well. Anybody that's like just comes off like they know everything, that they win all the time is just, they're just hustling you. I mean, honestly, everybody's just trying to get better, and I'm just hopefully taking you guys along for the ride as I try to improve. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so that's pretty much all I had. Is tomorrow Friday? Yeah, tomorrow I don't know if I'm going to. I'm definitely, well, maybe not definitely. I probably won't be around tomorrow. And there's no MMA. I do encourage you guys to, if you guys play NASCAR, or even if you don't. I mean, Pierce does some really great NASCAR content, and now he's on True DFS, and he's literally the best. I mean, at that. There's no MMA this weekend, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. And the NHL, I finished off the NHL, I think, season. I had a 5th in that thing yesterday, and I don't think there's enough games for me to play anymore. So I'm looking forward to next season for that. And yeah, Yogi, we'll record tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow with other stuff. And hopefully you guys got something out of this. Hopefully you kick some butt tonight. That's all I got.